whether we're an employer or an employee, we want to approach our daily work with a servant spirit. A servant spirit is primarily focused on advancing the good of others instead of our own personal good. To paraphrase the words of Christ, we are here not to be served, but to serve and to give our working lives for the benefit of others. But we want to carry that servant spirit also into unpaid work. Work and service for which we get no financial reward. If we only serve when we are paid, we're really no better than the world. In fact, in some cases, we're worse than the world. If we won't serve unless we get some pay, we're really doing it for selfish reasons. So I want to give you 3 areas where we can serve. And the first is the church. There are always an abundance of needs in the church. So ask yourself, where can I serve in the church? Is there a senior that needs a ride to church? Is there a special needs kid that you could give an hour a week to play with or just be with? Or go and ask your elders or deacons. There is always a lot to do that's not being done, and they'll certainly be able to use you. And when your church asks for volunteers for spring cleanup, paint the basement, or whatever, offer your services. Say, here am I. Use me, and make yourself available. So that's the first sphere of service, the church. Secondly, there's the community. There are very many ways to serve in our communities. It might be as a coach of a sports team, or helping a charitable organization, or maybe even just being an administrator of your condo association, your housing association. And remember, there's always your neighbor. As the Good Samaritan reminded us, we can easily forget our neighbor, but often right in our doorstep, there is an opportunity to serve. And even if it's a cup of cold water given in Christ's name, Christ notices it and receives it as service done to him. And then lastly, there is our home. Now, maybe you're still living at home. You're living with mom and dad. Have you ever asked them, how can I serve you, mom and dad? How can I serve this household, this family? Maybe you can go to them and say, hey, mom and dad, I'd like to give you one evening a week, maybe Thursday evening, to do whatever you want me to do around the house or the yard. Or maybe a Saturday morning. Maybe the first Saturday morning of every month, you could go to them and say, hey, I want to give this morning, once a month, give me anything to do, clean up the garage, clean up the yard, do some painting, whatever. Just make yourself available to serve, to advance the good of others instead of your own personal good. So, your action item this week is do some unpaid service in the church or in the community or in the home. Look around, find something to do. And here's the thing, don't put it on Facebook. Don't Instagram it. Nobody else needs to know. If you're doing service for public praise, you're being rewarded. It's not unpaid. And the Lord doesn't really count that. He says himself, do your religious service, Matthew 6, in secret. And the Father which sees in secret, he shall reward you openly. And use Christ, the servant, as your example and motivation. He took a towel and a basin and washed his disciples' feet. So go and do something for nothing. And remember him who gave everything for nothings at the cost of everything. Real men serve for nothing.